Well, I was going to bring up Barcelona. I knew you had a fantastic experience one time in Barcelona.
It's the time that I lost my passport, I'm assuming.
This is Beyond the Moon, a Ditch Witch podcast where we dig deep into news, job site stories, Ditch Witch culture, and all the other dirt that makes up the industry.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are launching season 3 of Beyond the Moon, a Ditch Witch podcast today. I'm super excited. We got an awesome guest. Jaime Wine's with us today. How are you, Jaime?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. So season 3 is going to be big time for us. We're going to go to Utility Expo, which is one of the biggest trade shows that we go to. We're going to have contractors in there. We're going to talk to Jeff Smith and Terry Golay, who are our new 2 Super Witch drivers. It'll be their first opportunity to perform at our biggest show, at their biggest show. So we'll see if they buckle under the pressure or put on a good show. I bet they put on a good show.
They're pretty solid guys. I think it'll be good.
Yeah, they'll be great. We're also going to go to equipment seminar where we're going to talk to contractors and Gary Bridwell. He's right here in Oklahoma, so he's going to be a guest this year. So we're pretty excited. Season 3 is just going to be jam-packed full of stars, and it starts with Jaime Wines.
Thanks.
That's right. No pressure. We
No
got
pressure at all.
all these big-time things coming, and you're going to kick off the season, so we're excited about that. One thing that we need to talk about with Jaime, though, is I'm glad you made it here this morning. So we work in Perry, Oklahoma.
Yes.
It's about an hour and 15-minute drive maybe to Tulsa, where our studio here is.
Maybe for you.
Yeah. Maybe, is it longer for you?
No, definitely shorter.
Oh, shorter. Well, I drive the speed limit. So maybe, and that's what we're getting into is I heard a rumor that you may be not the world's best driver.
Sean, do you think you're gotten popular enough that Progressive listens to you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we can speak freely here with insurance companies listening in or not. But is that? Can you corroborate that story? Is that a true rumor? Your driving ability may not be up to par.
I have come to the realization that is a fact.
Is there something specific, an incident maybe, or an accident? I hope it's not an accident, but has anything happened that you just dawned on you like, you know what, I think these rumors might be right?
Like today?
No, just in general. Like
I didn't know if we had to go into, every day is a little risky.
Yeah. Did you have one today?
We did a little off-roading on the way here.
That's wild. So how long have you known that you should just maybe ride shotgun?
Well, I did total a car in May, so that didn't help any of the matters. I would say probably when we were coming back from New Mexico on a ski trip.
Yeah.
And Jeff was asleep. There was a little snow flurries, and both of the kids who were pretty young started crying and asking and then begging me to pull over to make sure Dad was driving, and It was just snowflakes.
Right.
I was like, I think I have this handled. Then they were scared to death, and I could
I don't
probably
think
go
you do
on
have it
and
handled,
on.
Mom.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. But you're here safely.
Yes.
And that's good. So you had a road trip post college. You and I were talking a few days ago, and I thought you were from Oklahoma, but you're from Fort Worth, Texas.
I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. Yes.
Yeah. So what's that like? Can we talk about your upbringing? I mean, Fort Worth and Perry are not exactly the same thing. Fort Worth, Dallas area.
Traffic's a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a little bit different. So yeah, talk to me about that a little bit. What were you into in high school? Where'd you go to college?
Sure. So I'm just outside of Fort Worth in a small town called Keller, Texas. I went to Fossil Ridge High School. Pretty big school, a class just over 400. And to give you perspective, the girls just graduated from class of 74 kids in Perry. So definitely a little bit different than where I grew up. Jeff and I, my husband and I, we went to school together there. We didn't start dating until we were in college. But that's kind of what broke.
Were you were high school sweethearts?
No,
you
didn't
not.
date
till
no, we
college.
did not.
You
We
just
hung
knew
out.
each
We were
other.
friends. Yeah, we were in the same friends group.
Okay.
But we didn't start dating until college, and we were doing the back and forth thing every other weekend from Texas and Oklahoma. And when I graduated college, decided he's a farmer and rancher, and probably not going to be able to just pick that up and move that from Oklahoma to Fort Worth.
Probably not.
So that's what took me to Oklahoma in the first place, and love it. There's a lot of similarities between Oklahoma and Texas.
Yeah.
Traffic's not one of them, thankfully.
Right.
But
So let's talk about. I know there are a lot of similarities. The people are probably similar, but let's talk about the differences between Fort Worth and you live in Lucene, Oklahoma. And those of you listening or watching may not know where that is, but it's next to Hayward, Oklahoma, which you may not know where that is. But it's also next to, where's that golf course?
Are you talking about the one that's in Covington?
Covington, Oklahoma. May not know where that is either. But Oklahoma City, it's north of Oklahoma City an hour.
Yes.
Right? So there's not a whole lot out there. So what was that transition like from a city girl in Fort Worth, Texas to very small town Lucene, Oklahoma?
Well, first I went to Stillwater.
Okay.
So I went from Fort Worth into Stillwater because didn't know at that time, even when I moved here, that I was going to be working at Ditch Witch or even have any type of connection to Perry, other than that's where my husband, that's where he farms and ranches, is right outside of Perry and Lucene. So we moved to Stillwater very early. This would have been 2004 timeframe, which Stillwater looks a lot different today than it did back then.
Yeah.
So we moved there first because I didn't think I could live any smaller than that. And from there, got started at Ditch Witch, and actually all of our friends and everything we found were in Perry. That's where we were working. That's where we were hanging out on the weekends. And again, when there wasn't a whole lot in Stillwater, so you would have to go down to Oklahoma City or make that drive. And I don't, from Stillwater to I-35 is what, 20 minutes?
Yeah, give or take.
And so really it felt like, well, at that time, Perry would be more convenient because you're located right on I-35.
Right.
And so it just made a lot more sense that we moved to Perry. And so we built a house there and on the country club over by the golf course in Perry. And we lived there until we had kids. And then we moved into a little bit bigger home there. And now just recently in the last 2 years, we've moved out to the farm.
Okay.
And that was mainly because my kids were getting ready to go to college. And my husband's a farmer and rancher, which means he's busy every day, all day.
Right.
And I felt like if I didn't want to completely be alone, I needed to move out there. So
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's a good little segue, which actually, segue is a funny word. I recently realized that I was spelling it the wrong way. I was always going Segway. That's the wrong segue. It's like Segue. Did you know that?
well, I mean, I knew what a Segway was, so that
Right.
kind of makes sense. You know, Ed used to drive one of those around the plant all the time.
Yeah, yeah. So the other segue,
Right.
A nice little transition into. I wanted to ask you about your kids because I know that is something that has been different, difficult.
All those.
I don't know. So you are married to your husband Jeff. You have 2 daughters who are identical twins,
Identical twins, yes.
and they recently just enrolled and moved out, and they are going to Oklahoma State.
They are at Oklahoma State. They are cowboys.
Yeah,
They are living their best life, and I'm trying to adjust to that for sure.
yeah. What are their names?
Peyton and Paisley,
Peyton and Paisley, and they're Go Pokes.
and they are Go Pokes.
Yeah, so
they
how's that
bleed
working?
orange and just like us.
Good. Yeah.
Yes.
It's so they didn't have to shift wardrobe or anything like that. The colors still
The colors
well,
still work.
Orange
That's
and black.
right.
Orange and black. So how's that? That's relatively new. Within the last, I don't know, month or two, they've moved there. So how's the initial adjustment for them? Not having mom and dad around or living with mom and dad. More importantly, how's it on mom?
Oh, they're living their best life.
Yeah.
I mean, they're which is what you want. Makes it easier when they're happy. And Paisley has actually just finished up with Rush and had a great experience. I know that can be a lot of emotional roller coasters, but she had a really good experience. So she just found her house and her girls, and she's excited about that. Peyton is headed into pre-veterinarian, and so I know that is a challenge and just kind of where they're both starting right now. But just seeing them so happy, it helps. I would lie to you if I wouldn't say it's hard, and the house is a lot quieter. I've already organized the pantry. The garage is next.
That's what I was going to ask. I bet you are put together at home now.
Yeah,
Clean.
I'm headed into those barns next, and I think Jeff is scared to death.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Oh yeah. It's like, all right, I'm invading your
his
space
privacy,
now. Yeah,
yes.
it's coming in there. So identical twin daughters. Can you? I mean, obviously, you can probably tell the difference in them just looking at them.
Yes.
Do you have any of those stories that parents talk about where grabbed the wrong one or mixed them up, or do they have any sister swapping stories?
No, they were premature when they were born. So one was 4 pounds and one was 5 pounds. I don't know if you've ever seen a 4-pound baby or a 5-pound baby,
Yeah.
but that's not a lot of fat.
They're little.
They look like a little alien babies.
Yeah, you're little aliens.
A little alien. They were my little aliens. I loved them.
That's right.
But you cannot tell you cannot mix up a 4-pound and a 5-pound baby.
Right.
That's just impossible.
There's 20% difference there.
But yeah, it's very, very noticeable. I was obviously concerned about that, and we had some plans, but didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, perfect.
And even now, one of them is only 5 foot rounding, and the other one is 5'2".
Okay.
So
there's some subtle differences.
There's some differences.
Yeah.
Now, I would tell you that they were kind of, again, we grew up in Perry. They did. Small town, 5,000 people, class of 74. Everyone knows them as identical twins.
Right.
And where's your twin or what's going on? And so they were really excited to get to OSU and be able to have separate identities. One's
Like,
headed
finally.
into business school into Spears, and one's headed into Ferguson. So they were really excited about that. Within about 12 hours, they've both been found out that they're twins. And so they're just devastated that immediately people have recognized that they have a twin on campus.
That's right. 12 hours of freedom.
Yeah.
I hope they lived it up while they could.
That's right.
Yeah, now they're coupled together again.
That's right.
Okay. So you mentioned earlier that you moved to Stillwater in 2004. I believe that's when you started at Ditch Witch also. So let's talk about your career path a little bit. Where did you start, and what were you doing? Why was Ditch Witch something you were interested in? Just all those types of things.
For sure. Well, again, growing up in Fort Worth, I can't tell you that construction, farming, or ranching was any part of my normal day. But when I moved to Stillwater, everyone was talking about a company called Ditch Witch. And Jeff, again, had family ties into Perry, and so that came up there as well. So it was one of those places that I just kept trying to apply for, looking for the right fit.
Yeah.
I got several of those letters back, thanks, but no thanks, until the right fit came. And I got started at 2004 as a research analyst, and I did that for about 3 years.
That sounds like smart people work.
Research was tied to product management.
Okay.
And so everything that we were doing was looking into the background of markets that we wanted to go into, products that we were looking at. So I was working really heavily with the product management group and what they were doing day to day and product vision and where they were headed. And obviously piqued my interest into product management and really wanted to be able to establish a path into there. So I really worked into that job and started into that role in 2007 as a product manager for parts and had some compact equipment responsibilities.
Okay. Yeah, I always think it's interesting when people start out at Ditch Witch, and I'm pulling myself into this group here that I just passed 7-year mark, and I lived in Oklahoma for quite a while before I joined Ditch Witch, but I didn't know anything about underground construction. You'd see the equipment, but you don't know what it is. Did you come from like a similar did you know what a horizontal directional drill was? Or I don't know if we were in the vac market at that point. But how much did you know about underground construction? I mean, you see excavators and stuff like that, and you go, oh, I kind of know what that's doing. But coming in blind from Fort Worth, what did you know about underground construction?
Nothing.
Yeah, me too. Good.
When I first started, nothing. I knew about Ditch Witch, and people talked about the brand. They talked about the family feel. They talked about the values, and that's what I fell in love with first. Was the company itself and the employees and the values that we bring and really the work that goes into our customers and making sure that we're taking care of them and listening to them. When I got into product research, that's where I really got to understand the market impact and what we do on a day-to-day basis, how that impacts into the market. And that's why I really had a passion for product management. Because everywhere you go, I mean, it's about that voice of the customer.
Right.
It's about getting out and talking to them and seeing what their needs are, bringing that back and being able to build some of the best equipment that we can with our engineering group and our product support groups. And that's, to me, where everything comes together. Yeah,
it all matters. And you mentioned product management. You were in that role for a while. And now, if I'm not mistaken, that group reports up to you. So
that's
is
right.
that that's relatively new, I think, within the last year or so that group reports to you? Is that something that you enjoy? I mean, because I know you have a passion about product management. What's your feeling of that group being under your umbrella?
Sure. So from product management, I went into sales, helped with the part sales group,
Okay.
ran that for a while, and then moved into customer experience and worked through our applications and demand planning and our strategy for the company. So looking at where we're headed as a vision, whether that's 5 years in the next year.
Yeah.
And so really having product management into that as well, it really helps drive the full circle of where do we see Ditch Witch going? Where do we need to go to be able to take care of customers? What's being asked of us? What's being asked of our contractors, our dealers? And how do we pull all that together?
Sounds simple.
Yeah. I mean, day to day,
That's right.
I don't have anything to do.
Yeah, that's right. You sit around, nothing to do.
But I feel like it's really important for the product management group to be able to be in that world because that is where we're headed. That is our future. Product is what we make. It's made for our customers to make sure that we're providing the best solutions.
Right.
And so when you plug that together with strategic planning, I think the whole thing comes together to make sure that we have the best foot forward to where we need to go.
Yeah, I think you're right. And your title, it's a mouthful. Can you rattle it off what your title is currently?
Sure, it's a Senior Director for Product Planning and Research.
Okay. I'm not going to try to repeat that.
That's a full circle back. So we have market research.
That's right.
Back with product management as well.
Yeah. So quick math that I'm not great at. 21 years at the company. But I'm just thinking about you're on the ELT, Executive Leadership Team for Ditch Witch. That makes a lot of big decisions, and there's a lot of strategy involved in it, and it's the group that's really driving the company. On that team, there's a lot of experience. So I was just thinking, you've been here 21 years. I think this is your first, using air quotes here for those of you not watching, real career job. So two-part question, I guess. Why have you decided to stay with your initial company, fresh out of college? And I think that's fairly true for most of the leadership team. So what does that say about the company that the leaders want to be involved with for that extent?
Well, it took me a minute to figure out what you were calling a real career job, but I understand what you're saying now. Why did I come to Ditch Witch and why did I stay for 21 years?
There you go.
Got it.
That was way better. You should be in PR or communications or something. That was good.
It again started with what you hear about Ditch Witch. When you're around our part of the country, Ditch Witch has a really good family atmosphere and really got to see it from the beginning when I got here. And talking with what we do matters, and you got to experience that from day one, whether that's what we do out on the manufacturing floor to what product management is doing out in the field to what our product specialists do every day to
Right.
make sure our customers are out there. But really, it's just that passion that we all have in making sure that we're building the best equipment in the world, taking care of the customer, and we do that with pride. We do that with taking care of each other. And from the get-go, it just made me feel like at home.
Yeah.
I also moved away from my family. I come from a family of 5, and so I didn't have any of my siblings. I didn't have my parents. I had Jeff, but
Yeah.
really Ditch Witch became my family. And I did have twin daughters, like you said, and that community really jumped in there and helped me raise those kids, helped raise me as well.
Right.
I mean, I was only starting in on that career at 23. You talked about Utility Expo. I got to go to Utility Expo within just a couple of months of starting with the company. And
Okay.
just being at that show, seeing what we do and talking to the contractors right away, it just really made it all come together.
Right. Yeah, and it's cool. You're kind of talking about the family vibe and just kind of the community that is Ditch Witch, that is Perry, Oklahoma, that's the surrounding communities there. And I'm fascinated by this, and maybe you can speak to it a little bit better than I can, but it's a very small town feel. But at the same time, I get to go on really cool trips, and I get to see some interesting places in the world. Can you relate to that also? I mean, small town feel, but you've been to international places.
Absolutely.
And can you talk about your travel a little bit, good and or bad?
Sure. My family back home is always like, I don't know how Perry's a good fit. I mean, just like you said, grew up in a big city.
Right.
Not what I expected, but Ditch Witch is a worldwide company, and every day you're doing something different. Every day you're talking to somebody different. Like you said, I've been able to travel all over. It may be a small town, but it's definitely not a small company. And I've had some wonderful experiences, and I feel like Even being able to do a podcast right here in Tulsa. Again, I feel like those are the things that made it a lot bigger of a community. I could be halfway around the world and somebody would be calling me going, hey, you know that your kids have picture day. Like, should I be prepared to do their hair? Right. And I'm like, yes, please.
Yes, please. That's not Jeff's wheelhouse.
You might want to even bring some backup clothes. Like, I have no idea what's about to happen today.
Yeah.
But I haven't been all over the world. I've gotten to meet contractors, dealers, from our backyard to Barcelona.
I was going to bring up Barcelona. I knew you had a fantastic experience one time at Barcelona.
It's the time that I lost my passport, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that time.
Yes. Yeah,
how'd that go? How was that trip?
A little stressful.
Yeah?
Yes. So we just had arrived in Barcelona, and we went down to have lunch. And I would say, a little careless with my purse. We kind of get sometimes in a comfort zone.
Right.
And got too much into my comfort zone and got up to leave, and my purse was gone.
Oops.
Which
Did it walk up and leave, or do you think somebody maybe grabbed it?
Yeah, I don't really think it grew legs. I think that maybe somebody helped it out.
Yeah.
But we had just kind of we just kind of arrived and went straight to walking to do this, so I didn't have time to take my passport out.
Yeah.
My car keys, my driver's license, copy of birth certificate, all these things that you're supposed to travel with.
Everything except you physically.
Yes. Cell phone, everything.
Oh, good.
Everything was gone. So I had to go to the embassy and had to take a friend because that's all I had to validate who I was.
Yeah. Trust me, this really is Jamie.
Now, what I would tell you, if you ever find yourself in that situation, it is amazing how quick the U.S. Embassy and Homeland can figure out who you are and validate that.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. And they give you a little passport, slap your picture on it, and very fancy-like, put tape over it and give that to you.
Right.
And that's what you use to get home.
Perfect.
And then you get one of these every time. Hey, Jamie, Wines, can you step over here?
Step out of the line. We're going to need a little extra time.
We're going to need a little extra time.
Yeah. That's wild. So, yeah, there you go. That's Ditch Witch Travels in a nutshell. Sometimes it's good.
Yes.
Sometimes it takes a turn and it's an adventure. Either way.
The best thing about that, my expense report was real small that trip.
Oh, I'm sure.
Let's just say I wasn't picking up any meals.
Yeah, that's right. Easy peasy on the expense report. Well, good deal, Jamie. I'm going to let you out of here, but I do have one more question for you. As just kind of a random, fun little fact to get to know Jamie Wines a little bit better.
That's not scary at all.
No, it should be fine. We had talked about this a little bit. I didn't give you a heads up what I was going to ask, but we talked about Brett Romer. He was on season 2. I asked him how many ducks was it going to take to beat him in a fight. So that's kind of the vibe we're going here.
And I think it was 2. He said.
Yeah, I think he said 2.
Okay.
Wait, 2 ducks. Come on.
I think he's got more than that.
That's right. But does Jamie Wines have a hidden talent, like a quirk? Like, can you juggle? Or like, I asked my daughter this. She's 13, and she says she can make a 4-leaf clover with her tongue, like she does a thing.
No,
that's probably weird me doing that. But what can?
Can you edit that out?
I hope so. Yeah, we'll talk to him back there. Can we get rid of that? But yeah, do you have a hidden talent, or if you don't, or you don't want to reveal one, is there one that you wish you had, whether that's whistling or yodeling?
I mean, I guess my driving doesn't classify as a hidden talent.
No, that's the opposite.
Oh, okay. No, I don't really. I can't think of one of those that I have. I mean, I wish I could sing.
Yeah?
But
would you go on like American Idol? If you had the talent, or you just want to be like a sing in the shower?
I just wish the dogs wouldn't run out of the room when I was singing.
That's all right.
I can't think of one.
Well, that's fair enough. Fair enough. Well,
it makes me sad. But you know what? I'm an empty nester.
Yes.
Maybe I'll work on one.
Yeah.
I'll find one.
You'll be a gardener.
Yeah.
Vegetable
comedian,
garden.
stand up, something.
Yeah, something. Podcast guest.
I don't know. This might be one and done.
No, you were great. You were great. But I will let you out of here for the day. I appreciate you hopping on and safely making it all the way to Tulsa from Perry or Lucene. But with that, we'll go ahead and sign off and call it a day.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Guys. See ya. Join us next week when we record live from our booth at Utility Expo in Louisville, Kentucky. We're going to talk to the 2 new Super Witch drivers and see how their first spin around the lot goes. And we're also going to talk to as many contractors as we can. It's going to be awesome. We'll see you next week.
Well, that's it for this week's episode of Beyond the Moon. Be sure to subscribe to this podcast on your favorite platform and follow us on social media at Ditch Witch.